Hello, my friend. Today, we're going to learn what it takes to become what I call the stealth Chad. Not the loud, attention seeking peacock type who needs to announce his presence. I'm talking about a man who walks into a room and changes the energy without saying a word. The man women may not initially notice for his appearance because he's not the classic chiseled Chad. But later, those women cannot stop thinking about him because of something deeper they can't quite name. Welcome to the Port Car Method video series, where I help men develop the authentic masculine presence that women respect and desire. Let me clarify what I mean by stealth Chad. The conventional Chad is a man so physically blessed that he gets to treat women the way women treat other men. Flaky, demanding, keeping a roster, rarely honest about his lack of feelings. When women say, all men lie, they're only talking about the few men they allow to use them with zero strings attached, not the other 85-90% who are genuinely good dudes. Chad represents perhaps 5 or 10% of the men who can get away with this because their genetics have given them that advantage. Looks, however, fade. Most Chads, like most women, come with an expiration date. And I find that hilarious. The stealth Chad, however, is someone who is far more powerful. He's the man who, by all conventional metrics, should not be successful with women. Perhaps he's older, heavier, skinnier, shorter, not as classically handsome, perhaps even a bit on the below mid side, or not financially blessed with a trust fund. Yet, he consistently attracts and maintains relationships with quality women who make exceptions to their usual standards for him. That's why he is the stealth Chad. He slides right under the radar. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. You've tried being the nice guy. In fact, way too much. You've tried being the bad boy. You've read the books, watched the videos, maybe even paid for some coaching, and still, it is not working. You want more from your relationships, more, in fact, from yourself. That drive to become something greater, that's not ego. That is your authentic masculine nature calling you forward. What's missing isn't another technique, another pickup line, or another seminar promising that this time you'll learn the secret text messages guaranteed to make her come running. A lack of special tricksy words and new cold opening techniques is not what is holding you back. A stealth Chad needs no script. He understands what women genuinely crave, which all the PUA gurus can only teach you to pretend to have. It is, quite simply, masculine presence. The kind that makes her feel something when you enter her space. The kind that has her texting you first, wondering why you're suddenly on her mind. Those awkward approaches that went nowhere, those relationships that crashed and burned, they should have taught you something valuable about what doesn't work. In fact, I'm sure they have. But sadly, we live in a world which doesn't want men to reclaim their lost masculinity. So you were told over and over by popular movies and TV to just keep on repeating the same actions and eventually expect a different result. So don't beat yourself up too hard over it. There is a workable solution. When I work with clients, I don't start with what to say to women. Words are important, but almost never the problem. They start with how you carry yourself in the world, how you hold space, how you remain unshaken when everyone else is reacting or overreacting. how to glide past her tests as if they were just jokes you were already in on. That voice in your head saying you're not tall enough, you're not rich enough, you're not smooth enough, that's not reality. That's programming from a society that profits from your insecurity. The truth is far simpler. Authentic masculine presence trumps all of those external factors, and that presence can be developed regardless of your starting point. No matter where you're at, you can get to where you want to be. You see, a woman decides within seconds whether you are worth her attention, but not in the way most men think. Women see the outside of you for a minute or so, then their awareness starts to pick up on your controlled motions, your stillness, the unflinching way you hold her gaze, the way you react to her, the way you tease her and wake up all of those butterflies. And believe you me, buddy, they want the butterflies. When you do that, you can look like Quasimodo, and she's still going to get curious about what your willy tastes like. She is not just evaluating your looks or your status. She's feeling for something most men have totally lost today. That unmistakable masculine gravity that pulls her into your orbit. Now, let's be clear about something very important. Becoming a stealth Chad doesn't mean you neglect your physical appearance or your health. Quite the opposite, in fact. A man with genuine masculine frame naturally takes care of himself. Not from vanity, but from self-respect. You will eat better, dress better, and groom better, because that's what men of value do. You cannot be a dangerous man, which is a crucial part of the port car method, if you're a couch potato or a flimsy little video game addict. The difference is in the motivation. You are not desperately trying to look good to impress women. You're taking command of your physical presence because that's what a man with self-respect does. The external improvements flow naturally from the internal work, not the other way around. You've always sensed there was something off about the dating advice you've been given by women at large. The constant validation, the pedestalizing, the deference to their whims, the suppression of your natural masculine energy. It never felt right because it honestly isn't right. The sheep won't tell the sheepdog how to be the best kind of sheepdog. Your instincts were correct all along. This isn't about domineering through force and volume. The loudest guy in the room is rarely the most respected. This is about developing such solid internal frame that people naturally align with your energy. They feel it before you speak. They respond to it without knowing why. I stand here with you against the forces which have deliberately weakened modern men. The education system that punishes male energy, the media that portrays fathers as bumbling idiots, the dating experts who tell you to be more feminine to attract women, when the exact opposite is true. I have seen this transformation hundreds of times. Men who were invisible to quality women suddenly finding themselves pursued. Men whose relationships were on life support, watching their women respond to them with renewed desire. Not because they learned clever lines, but because they reclaimed something essential about themselves. The stealth Chad does not chase. He doesn't perform. He doesn't seek validation. He moves through the world with purpose, and that purpose is never about winning female approval. Paradoxically, that's precisely what makes him magnetic to the women worth having. And it gets even better. Despite all of the loud feminist voices out there trying desperately to drown them out, there are far more exquisite, high-quality women in the world than you might think. Those women are desperate to find genuinely masculine men to attach themselves to, who love, honor, and obey. Sadly for them, most of the guys they date are just little boys disguised as full-grown adult men. Idiot boys who want a woman to make all their decisions for them, because they were told that's what women wanted to do. Even the boss babe girls don't want those losers. Seriously, if a woman wants a little boy, she can just go give birth to one. They crave, in fact, masculine dominance. The steady kind that guides and protects and cherishes. You already sense what I'm saying is true. You've seen it happen. The guy who doesn't seem to be trying at all, somehow attracting the women everyone else was desperately pursuing. It's not luck. It's not looks. It's presence. And presence can be developed in any man who wants to gain it. In fact, it's kind of what we do here at Port Car Merchants. Would it be ridiculous if you pause the video right now to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and maybe leave me a comment talking about your observations on guys who are stealth chads? Your small act of clicking and typing will help more men discover the truth. If you're ready to develop this kind of unshakable masculine frame, check out our mentoring program. 4 one-hour bespoke sessions per month, tailored to your specific needs and situation. All designed to transform how women respond to you and to realign how you interact with the world. Visit portcarmerchants.com. That's portcarmerchants.com. Book your free 15-minute consultation to discuss our one-on-one mentoring program. Download our guides, which delve deeply into the psychology that builds unshakable masculine frame, and get some ideas and practices you can implement today. Come learn the Port Car method, my friend. Never be lied to or cheated on again.